The doctor has no eyes in this series. In every panel that this doctor is shown, his eyes is always closed. I bet you whenever he opens his eyes, whenever that would be, he's gonna be so freaking handsome. Probably some sort of a Gojo Satoru kind of handsome. Before we get started, I just want to remind our viewers that if you like seeing more yaoi content and would like to support this channel, please don't forget to smash that like button. Also, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Feel free to message me in my social media at ZEALED FUJOSHI, which I'll be using to interact with viewers about more yaoi content. If that's something that interests you, feel free to follow me at ZEALED FUJOSHI. Finally, this episode will contain explicit content and a lot of manhwa spoilers. With that in mind, please proceed with caution. You have been warned. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the special chapter 20 of Kiss Me Liar. For those who are confused of what's going on in the conversation in this chapter, in the main series of the Kiss Me Liar, the main story of how Keith and Yeon Woo met, there was an Omega and Alpha party that Keith attended, and Yeon Woo was also present at that party. And while they were at that party, Yeon Woo suddenly felt nauseous. And while he was trying to get out of there, he accidentally went to a pool party where there was a lot of alphas and omegas having, how do I say this? I guess they're having too much fun. And it triggered Yeon Woo's heat, and the other alphas at that party started to get attracted to Yeon Woo's pheromones and sort of started to gang up on Yeon Woo. And if I remember correctly, I think Yeon Woo did his best to fight these alphas off, that he bit an eggplant of one of the alphas in that party. And Keith, being the denial person that he was in the main series, said something around the line of, Yeon Woo should have just let the alphas somewhere around, like, just eat him, consume him, or somewhere around that line. I don't want to get demonetized, that's why I can't really say the actual word, but it was something around that line, right? And Yeon Woo is now remembering some of these flashback in this special chapter as his memory. And I really like the direction that the author is taking this story. I enjoyed the original story, not all aspects of the original stories, but since I've read all of the, from start to finish, the main story, I'm kind of used to what's going on in these special chapters, And it's kind of funny how, not funny in a haha sense, but funny to see Keith's reaction to the parts that Yeon Woo remembers, which are the terrible things that Keith did to Yeon Woo, and it just glossed over Keith in the main series. And one thing that I didn't really like about the main series is that just when they finally realized that they had feelings for one another, FYI, this was around the end of the series, the story just progressed and never addressed any of the hideous things that Keith did. It was nice to see how they developed their feelings in the main series, but it would have still been nice if, Keith did some amendments. And I think that's what the author is trying to do with these special chapters, that the author is trying to fix that apology or acceptance of Keith's mistake from the main series that will be implemented in these special chapters. And yes, Keith loves Yeon Woo a lot, and I am glad that in the main story and even in these special chapters that Keith started treating Yeon Woo better, right? But again, that doesn't excuse the things that Keith did to Yeon Woo when the main series was ongoing. I feel like it didn't get addressed properly in the main series, and he did not apologize for anything that he did or said. And I hope that those issues does get resolved in these special chapters, and I hope that the author doesn't rush these special chapters, kind of like what the author did in the main series, right? And I really hope that this time around it will really be different. And I think I know why the author made this also, that since the story before, it shows that their relationship really started from how they met, right? That they met each other in college, but that one never got addressed, and it looks like it's going to be addressed in these special chapters. And they had so many bad memories, so many bad histories that also didn't get addressed in the main series, and it looks like it's going to get addressed in these special chapters. And it's also nice that there's been a lot of hints that the mystery of how they really met, which is not something Yeon Woo forgot, but of course Keith was never made aware of in the main series. The backstory of how they really met in the polo matches, it looks like a lot of this misunderstanding from the beginning to the ending of the series is all going to get addressed by these special chapters. And I'm really glad, to be honest, because one thing that I hate about the main series is it really did felt really rushed, and the author made me feel as if all of the mistakes was forgotten just because they fell in love, and like the relationship was just made to work because Yeon Woo was already pregnant, and like Keith was okay taking responsibility for Yeon Woo's pregnancy, right? And time just passed because now their kid is all not grown up, but definitely not an infant anymore, right? There was a lot of hurtful moments in the main series, and it's nice to see that Keith gets the chance to make up for all of his past mistakes. This time with the memory loss and the fragment memories that Yeon Woo is getting, even though majority of them are the bad memories, I have a feeling that it's really going to be gratifying seeing Keith go through all of the hardships that Yeon Woo used to go through because of Keith. And I bet you this medicine is probably the inhibitors that the doctor gave to Keith. I would bet you that there's some sort of a miserable experience or side effect while he is medicated, and Keith is probably like, oh, so this is what Yeon Woo felt all these years. Probably have some newfound respect for all of Yeon Woo's sacrifice, those years that Keith was in denial of his feelings for Yeon Woo. I have a feeling that these special chapters will not end until all of the terrible things that Keith did in the main series comes out, gets figured out, and gets fixed. And I'm really glad if that's the direction that the author is gonna go to. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to follow my social media to be teased about some of the boys' love that I'm interested in. Feel free to leave me a message and converse with me in my Discord channel. I'd love to hear back from you. And please consider supporting the show by donating as little as 99 cents through www.zealedfujoshi.xyz. Also, don't forget to support the author. All the manhwa details can be found in the description below. Again, thank you so much and hope to see you next time.